Well, I guess our involvement at Volunteering Tas has been facilitating and supporting both the community and the council to develop the strategy.
It was looking at how they could increase their volunteers, what were happening, some of the challenges that we were facing, and as a group they came together to deal with those issues.
I volunteer as a director on the board of the Huon Financial Services, so with the Bendigo Bank. We had a volunteer group started for our women riders. We started up.
I was rather astounded when I heard about the low literacy levels in Tasmania, and I thought maybe one way that I could give back was to read to young children to help encourage them to love books.
5 years ago my house was burnt down and I got relocated into a whole new suburb that I wasn't familiar with. I went from country to city overnight in Hobart. So I found a neighbourhood house near Hobart and I started volunteering, just going and doing a bit of gardening just to get out of my house, to get interacting with people because I'd had a huge shock. And I just started loving it.
I'm the president of the Lions Club and I've been in the Lions Club here for 30 odd years. And I'm also on the committee of Abbeyfield House at Huonville, so a volunteer committee operate that.
And I, along with other musicians, organise, before COVID, I have to say, regular concerts in the local aged care facility.
Well, I'm mainly focused in local history, so that always tends to be manned by volunteers, and the little museums that are along the way, you know, that's all voluntary and it wouldn't exist so if that volunteer wasn't there.
And to come up with a community strategy, so it's not a council strategy but a community one. Just watching that whole process, I think it's been successful because of the key person in the council, which was Lisa, having that relationship, and also just with the group that we worked with. They were just so committed and so passionate and just wanted to be involved to improve their community, to ensure that volunteers were supported and to ensure that those services within their community can be delivered and sustained.
That it's providing something that there aren't paid jobs for.
Volunteering provides services for the community that they otherwise wouldn't have.
Perhaps volunteers undervalue the work they do themselves too, inadvertently, because they want to do it. They don't even think of what they might be saving the government perhaps in doing services that are provided only from volunteers.
It's really important, I think, and having it at a local level is even better.
And it actually gives people a sense of purpose and connection. So we have a lot of people in the community, and they may not be all elderly people. They can be younger people, people that just don't have partners or friends, and they're isolated. So it gives that sense of purpose and that connection, so that people can actually touch base with other people. And it's great for the people that are having the service provided, because it gives them contact outlet, or it creates things in the community. It's a win-win.
Just being there to talk to people, I think, is the most important thing, to connect with them. Because some people don't have anyone to talk to all day.
And it's a way of starting to put down roots, to feel connected, that you know people when you go about, your community.
You think, oh, I know somebody that's involved there, and you end up with a network without even intending to, Yeah, the social aspect, I suppose, it's very good.
I think there's a real issue with people with volunteer numbers dropping, and so we need people to volunteer.
There are a lot of benefits to the person who's actually volunteering, as well as the recipient.
I think there's huge benefits. Benefits for the people volunteering themselves, and benefits for the community.
Good for their mental health to actively interact with other people in the community through their volunteering. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a win-win, basically. The community wins and the volunteers themselves win. Just do it. Just do it. Look, there's a myriad of volunteering opportunities out there that will suit almost any person.
There's all sorts of skills for volunteers. And you learn skills too, don't you, really? Yeah.
And it's exciting looking at the potential of that strategy, I think, isn't it? Of
yeah.
what can happen.
Especially when there's lots of people on their own, and then they'll come past a place, like a couple came past here earlier, and I went, do you know about the hub? Do you know what's available?
And look, the community hub here is a good place to start, probably for some guidance in where you should start.
And then once I got into community volunteering, you can't leave. You just can't. So it gets in your blood then.
But it's nice to do something where there's no expectation to get something back. But you do get something back, you get a really nice feeling.
We need to think about volunteering more strategically, and we need to support our community to think about it as well. Really impressive to be involved in, and just such a pleasure as well. The community's such a nice place to be, and so motivated, the group of people we worked with. So it was an absolute pleasure.